I'd like to officially welcome all of you to the very first My Joy Market co-owner Zoom meeting. Everybody unmute and go, yay!
Yay!
Yay! Woohoo!
Very, very exciting.
Yeah.
So we're transitioning from, seeing ourselves as co-founders, but when you actually are, the owner of coin and all the coins are allocated, we're going to have 1 billion coin and all of them on day one are going to be allocated, meaning all of you that are part of this launch, each one of you are an owner. And so you're a co-owner with the rest of us. Okay. And we have still less than 150 co-owners right now. So it's a lot smaller number than I thought it would be by now, but that's okay. We're going to move forward no matter how many co-owners we have. We'll just move forward and make it work somehow, some way. Just with sheer determination, we'll get through whatever we got to get through. But yeah, so that being said, let me let you all know that there is a an issue with doing lending on the PML website. Okay. Right before this Zoom call, I had a conversation with the programmer. For him, it's like about 9 o'clock in the morning for him right now. He just taking the first few sips of his coffee as he's starting his day in the Philippines, of course. So I'm over here in Las Vegas. It's Thursday for me. It's already Friday for him, Friday morning for him. Okay. But he's just getting started. He has got to upgrade the smart contract that we use to do the lending. Okay. And so with that being the case, he said it's going to take most of today to get it done. So if you're a little frustrated because you haven't been able to do lending, it's not your fault. It's there's a need to upgrade the smart contract, and that's going to happen today. He promised me it's going to happen today. And so tomorrow you should have no problem doing your lending. Is that okay, everybody?
Yep, that's cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Yes.
I don't like the fact that it's not working. Yeah, I want something to work all the time, but just realize that we're dealing with technology. Here's my relationship to technology. You guys curious what my relationship is with technology? It's like with certain people, I have a love-hate relationship with technology.
You're not alone.
I love it when
No,
it
you're not
works.
alone.
I love technology when it works, and I hate it when it doesn't. So, so we always expect things to work all the time. And let's be real, we're not in that world. We're not in that place that's called perfect, So we're in a much different place. And so we just have to have patience, and we just have to, we just have to be compassionate with each other as we deal with we're all in this boat together, right? So we just need to be able to um, you know just be happy in spite of it all, right? That's my philosophy. Like, who cares? Be happy anyway, So let's not get under our skin and just let it move forward. So it'll be fixed today. It's not really a fix, it's more like an upgrade that's necessary, right? So it's gonna get done today, and then you should have no problem doing lending tomorrow. And of course, the rules will apply, and it will know how much is in your holding area, and it will know how much is in your wallet, and it will combine the two together, and it will obey the rule based on the combination, which that has not really been the case, but it will be the case after he upgrades the smart contract behind the operation. Okay, so let me just show you what I'm talking about. Share my screen, come back in here, and we look at, so basically here's what's in your wallet. You go when you log into the PML website, it tells you what's in your wallet, so that it matches up with what you got over in your wallet. And it also tells you what's in your holding area. Okay. And it takes those two numbers And really the numbers it's looking at is the amount of PML, that number there plus this number here, right? They get added together, and based on the market value, it's given a dollar amount, right? Now, if you have less than $3,000 combined between the two numbers, okay? If you have less than $3,000, then you can only do one of these lends right here, only one a day. Okay. If it's over $3,000, okay, between the two, this is after, of course, after he fixes this and makes it work, okay, and that'll be done today. Then you should be able to do two lends, two. And that's the maximum, two a day, okay. And it's not going to be taking stuff out of your wallet. It's going to look at your holding area. It's going to take from your holding area first. Okay, that's what it's programmed to do. So if you have anything in holding, it's going to take that. It's going to take, for example, $50. If you're gonna lend $50 so that you get back $100, it's going to take $50 out of the holding area. If you don't have $50 in the holding area, then let's go look at the wallet. And if you got over 50 there, then it will take the 50 out of the wallet. That's how it works. Okay. So when the price dropped like it did, so these numbers change significantly based on the price, right? So it's all about price. And that's really, right now, it's up to you guys to move the price where you want it to go. Okay. Because I'm trying to allocate resources, and I want to make sure we maximize how we use the resources. And so feeding sellers is not a high priority for me. Okay. So, I'd much rather use that to continue paying for programmers and other things that matter right now. So back to here. If it's over $6,000, so if these two numbers combined are over $6,000, then not only can you do two lends per day, but they are basically paid off instantly as you do them in something we call a guarantee. Okay. And the way the guarantee works, you'll notice down here, that's what a guarantee looks like. Okay. Now, guarantee, we shouldn't be engaging the wallet, but see the last one I did here, notice that these don't have any kind of a link to them for the blockchain. Notice that all the ones here they do, and then suddenly they don't. Well, that's how it should work. It should work where it doesn't, because it should only be working from the holding area, not the wallet. This is why the contract's got to be updated properly. Okay, so it takes out of the holding area and not the wallet. But that's the guarantee. So it's instantly paid off. Okay, if you have over $6,000. Now, here's the problem for some of you is that you used to have $6,000. Okay, anybody experience that? You did at one time have $6,000, but now you don't. Shout out if that's
Yep.
true for you.
Yes.
Yes.
Very
Okay.
much so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Why? Why did
Yeah.
that
Make sure
happen?
Tilly that Millie doesn't get it, okay?
What
What's
happened?
going on?
We've got sellers.
So you can thank our
Right,
sellers
well,
here.
let's
So
lick my
the
egg and then I'll come and join you.
the seller from here, and there's another seller right there. These big sellers, they took the price down really hard, and unfortunately that impacts all of us, right? Our policy is no selling, but they
Right.
didn't follow the policy, right? What's in their wallet is in the market, right? So if someone doesn't want to obey the policy, they had the power to do that. And of course, we're not going to treat them as a co-owner, right? If they're selling, right? So they pretty much are out of the the real opportunity here, and they're taking what the market will give them. Okay, fine. It's their loss too, because they sold prematurely. So they're going to take a loss, because being an owner of what we're doing next is going to pay way better than any kind of gain anybody would get by selling prematurely. So unfortunately, not everybody understands or values that or believes in that, and they took action, and it brought the chart down. I mean, geez, we were up here at 250,000, right? When was that? Beginning of March. beginning of March, we were at 250,000. And now we're at 34,000, almost 35,000. So that's a very large drop, you know. I don't know. That's like 8 times drop, right? 8x down. So if you're looking at your thing here and going, it doesn't say 6,000 anymore. It doesn't say the number that's higher than 6,000. It's because of the price drop. I hope you understand the correlation between what it says here and the price here. Okay. So just understand that. And then quite a few of you have been helping to lift up the market here. So if you notice the activity, okay, like you take a look at all those green stuff happening here. Okay. Well, believe it or not, these are people that are doing, $1, $5, $10, small amounts. So you see this movement upward, it really does take very little money. Okay. It takes very little money to make it go up. Even $1 makes it go up. Okay. And so we got a number of you that are doing that. And in the last meeting, I offered a reward for those of you that are doing that. And many of you have come to me to collect the reward, and I have paid the reward to some of you, but not all of you, because there's only one of me, and I do one thing at a time. So I know plenty of you are wanting to get that reward, and I'm going to give it to you as soon as I can. Okay, and it's going pretty good so far. So let me just hear from the people that have already been rewarded. Those people that have already rewarded, are you happy?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very happy.
So any of you that are helping to move the value of the coin up, even if it's $1 a day, thank you for doing that. And you're getting like a nice reward for doing that. So if you happen to be a star, your reward's going to be 4x. If you happen to be a diamond, already your reward is 3x, on each little dollar, that you've done, And if you're neither a star or or diamond, I'm still going to give you a generous reward, okay, for participating. Okay. So I know we got Ollie. I'm anxious to pay Ollie because he does like 4 of these a day, and also Kay out of Montana. You're on my mind. Both of you are really on my mind because I see that you've sent me the information already, but I've been buried with trying to get through all the chats that I've got. Okay. But anyway, this is our first co-owner meeting, and specifically, it's our first MyJoy Market co-owner Zoom meeting. Okay. And so I just wanted to get some of the previous projects and what's going on with them out of the way so we can put our entire focus now on the whole thing about owning something together. Now, who's excited about owning something together? We've got about 150 of us roughly that are already owners. How does that feel, guys?
Awesome.
Great.
Okay. And for those of you that might not know what's going on, I'm going to clue you in today. Okay. All right. So let me share my screen and show you we're making great progress. Okay. Oh, by the way, I think we should let those of you that joined us to get paid for the paid training, that still applies. You'll be paid in PML for now, up until we launch. You'll be paid in PML. Go ahead and unleash the hounds, Hunter. Go ahead and open up the chat, and you can put your wallet addresses in order to get $50 of PML. And of course, that PML is going to show up in your holding area, not in your wallet. Okay. You can't sell it if it's in the holding area. You can if it goes to your wallet. So we're not tempting anybody from this point forward. Too much is on the line to add temptation to anyone. So it's going to a place where no one has the power to sell it right now, but it still has that value. Okay. All right. All right. Now that's being said, let me share my screen and let's get into what's going on. By the way, what do you guys think of the new poster for our meeting?
Looks pretty snazzy.
Nice.
Love
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, for those
fabulous.
people that opted in, collectively we came together and we chose this as the logo. Okay, so we had several choices, right, people? We had several choices.
Absolutely.
and we all came together and chose this one. Isn't that what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's what's cool about being a co-owner is that you get to participate in, decisions like, okay, what's our logo going to be? Okay. So of course the name of our market is the My Joy Market. Okay. My Joy Market. That's the name of our market. And it's going to be a digital marketplace. And let me move this out of the way. And this is a development server. Okay, so this is not the official website right now. Okay. But you can see we're making progress here on our what are we going to call this? This is our digital marketplace website, but right now it's not on its proper domain. So this is not the proper domain. This is a development server, but I'm just giving you guys a peek at it right now. And what do you think about the development here?
Yeah, it looks good. So far,
Looks
so
really
good.
nice so far.
Yeah, so
Yep.
now we have what we call a GUI, which is a graphical user interface. The last time we were looking at this, it was very textual, like just like white letters on a white background, right? Remember how it was very text-like before? Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now we're adding a GUI to it, a user interface that's pretty to look at, So it's going to get even prettier as we go. Okay. But what kind of things are we talking about? Coaching programs are digital, ebooks are digital, webinars can be digital. There's digital services, there's digital communities that you can join. There's obviously software you can download, which is digital, right? So obviously there's gonna be lots of different categories when it comes to things that are digital that we will be a place for people to put their digital products and services into a marketplace so to buy and sell. Okay. And then the only currency that we'll accept is our currency, and that's it. We're not going to be accepting dollars or euros or pesos. It'll only be our currency that we accept. So that's, we're making progress here. It's not finished. It's getting closer though. We're using AI to speed up the process of developing this website because there's quite a bit to it, So AI is making it easier for us to get the development of this website done sooner and faster. Okay. Now, one of the very
Looking good.
looking good. Who's that?
That was me.
Me who?
Me, Ken.
Ken. Got it, Ken. Okay, thanks, Ken. Looking good. Appreciate it, buddy. All right. Now, one of the very first services, or perhaps the first service that will be made available in this digital marketplace comes from yours truly. I am the creator of the service called Legs. And Legs is a lead generation system, okay? Or what we've come up with it's a leads easy generation system, okay? And so this is still a work in progress, but you can see here that this is where we're at, and that's the official domain. What do you guys think about the domain? Legs.network.
Cool.
Mhm.
I like
Good.
it.
That's
Yeah.
very good.
Legs.network is the name of the domain. And no, that's not the logo. This right here is not the logo. That's just a placeholder right now, But the timer here should be pretty close to accurate. So we're about 10 days from launch here, guys. 10 days away. So that's the time you have to become an owner. Okay. So yeah, 10 days away from becoming one of the co-owners, one of the original co-owners of our marketplace. So the idea is we're going to own this together, and this will be a service within that marketplace where you can actually generate leads for any kind of business. So there's no limitation on the businesses you want to promote. Anything works. Okay, the way this works. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about how that, what this is all about, because I've done that already before. But just realize that the timer is counting down already. I also want to get a timer on this. I want to get this onto its proper domain. It's not on its proper domain right now, but I want to get it over there to its proper domain. And when it's on its proper domain, I want a counter attached to it immediately. Okay, so we basically, these would be matching, countdowns, would be the same countdown, okay, on both websites, because we're going to be launching both simultaneously. A lot of work to do that, guys, but that's what I want to do. I'm going to get it done. And I'm taking on the task of, even though it's a lot of work, I don't care. I'm doing it. So we're launching both at the same time. And then once the digital marketplace is open, anybody can come in there and add digital products and services to it. They can register and then position themselves either as a user of digital products and services, or position themselves as a creator and provider or seller of digital products and services. And then that's how we grow. And we're really modeling this after this WAP. We've seen how successful WAP has been. Let me find it here. So see if it will load. Yeah, I mean they've already done $3 billion in profits to their to their sellers, to their creators. Okay, they've got 20 million users and 2.5, almost 2.6 million businesses providing products and services in this digital marketplace called WAP. So this is, we're looking at this as our example of what we could become. We're just a newborn baby over here, okay? So this here is a newborn baby, and we want to grow up and be bigger and stronger and better looking and all that than what we see here. So we're going to go for the gold, okay? All right. So there you go. So that is where we're at. And we're super excited about being a co-owner. Okay. So let's break this down a little bit further on being a co-owner. Okay. Let's see here. Let's start off with the fact that it's all about the currency. So let me dialogue a little bit. Let me dialogue with Hunter. Okay. Hey Hunter, in our brand new marketplace, over there at WAP, they accept dollars and euros and pesos. That's what they do over there.
Right.
But in our digital marketplace, are we going to accept dollars and euros and pesos?
No, we will not.
Really? Okay. So we're not going to accept that paper money, huh?
Indeed.
You know what's wrong with paper money, guys? What's wrong, Hunter, with paper money?
How long do we have?
Okay, stop. Okay. All right. I'll tell you in a short way what's wrong with paper money. The problem with paper money is it's a guarantee you're losing purchasing power by having it. You're guaranteed to lose. Okay. It's 100% guaranteed you're going to lose purchasing power. What am I talking about? We're talking about the ability to buy something. Okay. The ability to buy something. So I remember when gasoline was 10 cents a gallon, Hunter, and I'm aging myself a little bit here, right? But how many of you would love to pay 10 cents a gallon right now for gasoline? Okay.
I would.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
That doesn't exist on the planet anymore. Okay. Nowhere on the planet can you find someone selling gasoline at 10 cents a gallon using the US dollar, right? It doesn't exist. So what happened right now? I don't know, depending on where you're at in the world, if you're lucky, you're only paying $4 a gallon. Okay. If you're lucky, right? But a lot of people in the world are not lucky. So how did it go from 10 cents a gallon to over $4 a gallon? It's because the purchasing power went down, right? It's called inflation. When inflation goes up, your purchasing power goes down. We've seen the charts. Well, back in 1929, the dollar was 100%. And then it's now, based on what it was in 1929, now it's only, 2 cents on the dollar, what it was when it was a whole dollar in 1929. Now it's only 2 cents of value, purchasing power. So that's the problem, guys. That's the problem with using paper money is you're guaranteed to lose. Okay. So that's why we're not interested in using dollars, euros, pesos, or any other paper currency. I don't know about you. I don't like to lose. Do you guys like to lose? I don't like to lose.
No.
I mean,
I
it's
don't know.
a guaranteed loss. Now, on the other hand, our currency is market based. So, what does that mean? It means sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. It just depends on you mostly. What does it depend on? On you mostly, right? Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So, would you rather have sometimes you win, sometimes you lose? Or would you rather have you lose all the time, no matter what? Which
Like
one-
to
Sometimes you
win.
win, sometimes you lose.
So this is why you're only going to be able to use our proprietary currency, okay, on our digital marketplace, and we are the owners. Not only are we the owners of the entire digital marketplace, but we are also the owners of the entire currency. So those of us that come in on day number 1 when we launch, we're going to take 1 billion coins, and that's it. No more will ever be created. There's going to be 1 billion coins created at the start, and never again. We're not going to add any more coins ever again, forever. It's going to be 1 billion of them. And then we are going to divide up those coins in what we call allocation. Okay, think of a pie chart. Okay, everybody's going to get a slice of the pie. The how big the slice you have depends on how much you're contributing now. The more you contribute now, the bigger the slice of pie you're going to get. That's simple, right?
Yeah,
Right.
very simple.
Okay. So there you go. So we got about 10 days to keep adding to that and get the biggest possible slice you possibly can before the timer hits 0, because then that's it. Then we're going to know who owns what. You're going to own this much, you're going to own that much. That's going to be the deal from that point forward. So we're going to know who each owner is and how much their slice of the pie is. And all together, it all adds up to 100%, because 100%, all 1 billion coins are going to be allocated to the owners, right? That's very different, by the way. That's not usually what you see when you see a digital currency launching, right, Hunter?
Right.
Yeah, usually you might see maybe 10% going out to the initial people that join, right? Maybe.
Mhm.
And then the other
If you're
90%.
lucky.
Yeah, and then the other 90% is being held by the, whoever created the currency in the first place. This is different. We're taking 100% of all the coins and we're allocating who owns what from day 1. And those of you that have opted in, it costs $100 to opt in. To do that, you just go to our website here. If you haven't done it already, it only takes $100 to opt in. You come over here like this. Hopefully get to load quickly today. And right here, this is the page that you opt in right here. This is the opt-in page. To get to this page, like maybe you start on the account page and then you go into the community coin offer, okay? And you click right here to pay $100. And then once you get that done, you get a receipt that shows that you paid $100 in order to position yourself as one of the owners of this digital marketplace and its currency, okay? Understand that that's the big part here, and its currency. That's, guys, if I could liken this to having a stake. What's this like? Is it like having a stake in a business? No. No, 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 no. This isn't like having a stake in a business. This is like having a stake in a central bank. Imagine being one of the co-owners of a central bank, right? Who created a currency. You know, here in the US, they create the dollar. You know, over there in the Philippines, where I was, that central bank over there created the peso, the Filipino peso. You know, in Panama, what are they using over there?
They do have the Balboa, but it is a dollarized economy, technically.
Okay, so dollarized. They're leaning on the US in that way, but
Yeah.
and you know, in Australia, you have the Australian dollar. So even though it's a dollar, it's not the same dollar, is it? Right? It's the Australian dollar over there, but it's the Australian central bank that created and issued those dollars in Australia. Am I right?
Correct.
And help me out, Kay. In Korea, what currency do they use in Korea? They turn your mic.
One,
You gotta turn your microphone on. There you go.
Okay. One, 10 won, 100 won. That's how we use it.
Now is that
Not
is that like the Chinese one? Is it the same
a
using
little bit different.
same terminology, kind of like the US dollar and the Australian dollar? It's the Chinese one and then the Korean one, but they're different currencies,
Right.
right? Okay, got it. Makes sense. Okay. Well, there you go. So all those paper currencies, whether it's a peso or a yuan or a dollar, regardless if it's an Australian dollar or it's a, American dollar, all of those are guaranteed to go down. Guaranteed. But you guys get to be co-owners of the central bank of the currency we're rolling out. Right? This should blow your mind. Okay. If you really think about the power of being a co-owner of a currency, your mind should go, right?
Wow.
Because it's not just having a stake in a business, you're having a stake in the currency. That means that you're not just benefiting from stores, right, inside of a mall, right? You're benefiting by every single product and service, every little thing. Every time there's a transaction, you're getting a piece of that because you are a co-owner, right? And then what determines the value? The market. The market's going to determine the value, okay? But guess what? It's going to be those of us that are already part of this that are basically making up 99% of that market. So that market is really controlled by those of us that are part of this. And so if we're really smart as owners, if we're really smart, we'll be buying a lot of the coin and hardly selling it. Okay? Because we all benefit by the price going up, right? Because, if the price goes up for one owner, then it goes up for all of us owners. And then we're going to take 10% of that gain on any day. We're going to take 10% and it'll be sold off. You don't have to do anything. This will be done by myself in the beginning. Okay, later it'll be automated. But manually, I'll go in and I'll look at, what was the overall gain. Then I'll take 10% of that number, whatever that is. And then that's the amount that I will sell. I'll take and sell that much coin. Okay. I'll take and sell that much. And that will then create USDT. So we're exchanging our coin for USDT. All right. And so everybody collectively in the pie, they're gonna release a little piece of their pie every day that I do that. It's going to be all proportionate to the size of your slice. So the bigger the slice, the more that's going to come out, right? But you got more coin, right? To begin with, but it's all percentile based. So that comes out, and then you will then get USDT. So the people that have a bigger slice, they get more USDT than people that have a smaller slice. Does that make sense, guys?
Yep,
So
Yes.
who determines the
fair.
slice? You do. It's up to you to determine how big your slice is going to be. You got 10 days to maximize whatever you're able to do. We still have some diamond positions open. We just filled our final star position. Technically, there's no more star positions. If someone twists my arm, I'll let them be a star. So, but right now we have 25 of 25 stars. So let's go feature that now. So the star is getting a great deal to get quadruple of everything and fantastic stuff. So this guy's awesome here. Dennis, he's been with us for years, but been very quiet for many years. But he came in today as a star. He took that 25 of 25 position. You can see him right there. There he is in the corner down here. See that?
Yeah.
So he took the last position that we had there on the stars. Now, of course, the stars was a 20 program. There was 20 stars, and then we expanded it to 25. There's a clue for you. Okay. All right. It's expandable. It can be expanded if we want to expand it. But when we take a look at the diamond position, let's see here. Diamond position. We still have quite a few openings there available still. Okay. Let's see here. I think this most recent one here. So we're about halfway done here, right, guys? Okay. So we got 4, and then there's 8 there, and there's 10. So it looks like we got 10 of the 20 are all filled in. That means there's 10 more diamond positions open out of 20. That's for $500. You can be a diamond, and we'll triple that. We'll instantly turn 500 into $1,500 of PML instantly for you becoming a diamond. On the star, you get 4 times, right? So you get $4,000 of PML for the $1,000 of coming in as a diamond, as a star. So we got plenty of diamond positions open. I had the pleasure of meeting with number 24 here. She's in Europe. She's quite awesome. We ended up really connecting, and found that we had some spiritual beliefs that were in alignment, and it's nice to meet people and get to know them is what I'm trying to say. And each one of you has your own unique story, and I love each of you, but yeah, it was nice to connect with her, talk to her, and, share and yeah. And of course, I love our stars. The stars, they're really stepping up. They're really making all of this possible, right? And the diamonds right behind them are, supporting all of this to make it a reality. So, what's the benefit of being an owner? If you own part of a central bank, what's the point? Okay, how does that change your life in any way? Oh, it should change your life significantly, because imagine you go from one day to the next day, and I don't know, if I took a survey here and I asked everybody to be honest, and I said, who here is already a millionaire? You know what I'm saying? I think the majority of you would say, not me. Okay, right? Right. But imagine going from not me to the next day, me, I'm a millionaire. Going from not millionaire to millionaire just because the time changed. Okay, that's what's going to happen when we launch this. Those of you that are not millionaires,
It's the stuff dreams are made of, Ace.
yeah, I'm telling you, we're gonna launch, and you're an owner, meaning you have equity, meaning you are a millionaire. Now, some people might say, yeah, that's a millionaire on paper. You're still a millionaire. Okay. It's about changing that idea, millionaire on paper to a millionaire in lifestyle. Okay. That might take 6 months to a year after we launch to go from a paper millionaire to a lifestyle millionaire where, you're traveling the world, you're sucking on pina coladas on different beaches all over the world, and you're making a difference in your community and whatever groups that you support and your charities, and your family doesn't worry about money anymore because you got plenty of it, right? Lifestyle, right? Lifestyle millionaire. So everybody wants to be a lifestyle millionaire, yes, but being a paper millionaire is a good starting point. Okay, you got to be a paper millionaire first, kind of how it happens. So as co-owners, that means we have like a responsibility. If we want to go from paper millionaire to lifestyle millionaire, then that means we gotta, don't expect Ace to do everything. I'm gonna do most of it, but I'm not gonna do everything, right? I'm gonna ask all of you to, do the best you can to contribute to what we're doing, whatever it might be at any given time. Okay. And just shoulder that little responsibility that you'll have to carry by being an owner, right? It doesn't really carry an obligation. What it does instead carry is an opportunity to participate at the level that you're able to. Some of you are more able than others. And those that are more able than others, I hope you do step it up and do more than others, right? But we're all going to be owners, regardless of how big you are or how small you are in the world, and how much skill you bring or not. That doesn't matter. What matters is that whatever you can do, you do it. You do it in a positive way to make your contribution. So now think about this for a minute. We're going to go from April 5th, okay, the 5th of April to April 6th. And that's when the timer flips over to like, okay, we're launching. And now your allocation is done. You have this much percentage of the pie, of the pie chart. Okay, your slice is determined, just like everybody else's. It's all set. And then what's going to happen is the coin is going to enter the market. And we're going to take $1,000 of USDT and we're going to match it up with one of these coins. And what does that mean? That means instantly, the moment that this currency enters the market, the very moment, the very second, okay, that the coin enters the market, it enters at a value of $1,000 per coin. Help me out, Hunter. Help me with some math. If we have 1 billion coins and each one of those coins are worth $1,000 each, altogether, how much is that?
1 trillion.
$1 trillion. So right now, there's about 150 of you right now that are part owner of $1 trillion. Get it? You're not only going to be a millionaire on April 6th when we launch this thing, you're going to be a multi-millionaire. And I doubled the multi for a reason, okay? Because I figure the smallest owner here is probably going to be about $20 million. Okay, that's going to be our itsy bitsy tiny little owner. They're only going to have $20 million. That's it. That's the smallest. Okay, think about that for a minute. If that's the smallest, what's going to be the biggest? You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't really know what the biggest is going to be yet. I have to sit there and run the math, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a crazy number like, I don't know, what if it was $10 billion owner, right? What if maybe a $15 billion owner because they got the biggest slice of the pie, okay? Right? So what you have in your holding plus what you have in your wallet added together, that's going to determine, your ownership, how big it is, how small it is. But the smallest is going to be like 20 million. Okay, that's the smallest. So that means all of you, when we flip the calendar that day from the 5th of April to the 6th of April, you go from, okay, positioning yourself to be an owner to becoming an owner officially. That's what happens. And on that day, all of you will be able to say, I'm a millionaire. I'm a multi-millionaire. All of you get to say that. How's that going to feel?
Sounds so good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Joy, joy, joy.
Do you feel the tingle,
Yeah, getting the goosebumps.
That's right. Just to get all tingly, feeling good. A lot of joy in the moment here. Okay. Funny you should say that. Anyway, so listen, this is powerful stuff. You're basically going to be like a co-owner of a central bank. because when we launch this coin, and all of the coins are they're already allocated to the owners, and that's it. And then we have a simple formula that a little piece of that's going to go back into the market. Well, not back. It's going to go into the market from the allocation into the market. Little tiny pieces every time we have a positive day. If we have a negative day, then nothing gets added to the market. Only on positive days, when there's more buyers than sellers, okay, that's when little pieces will go into the market, okay, and the market will provide the co-owners USDT, which you guys can go into your website and withdraw your USDT that comes in. Now, in the beginning, it might be something small. It might be like 2 cents on your first day because you're one of those tiny owners, right? Maybe the next day it's 3 cents because you're one of those tiny owners that I'm talking about. It's only got 20 million of this, right? It might be something small like that to begin with. But eventually that becomes bigger and bigger and bigger as more people learn about our digital marketplace. See, right now, only a few hundred people in the world are even going to know that the digital marketplace exists. Only a few hundred. What happens when 1 billion people know this marketplace exists? It's not going to be 2 or 3 cents coming in every day. Get it, guys? Right? And when we go from a small group of people knowing about something to like almost everybody in the world knows about it, you know what I'm saying? Then it gets big and we become a multi-billion-dollar marketplace. Okay. And when we're doing billions of dollars of transactions inside of our marketplace, and the only way to transact is through our proprietary currency, that we own as the central bankers of this currency. Okay, we own it; it's ours. Well, then at that point, those little daily allocations could really be big. Maybe that little person that's only got $20 million, maybe they start getting $300-400 a day, $500-600 a day, when everybody knows about what we're doing. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
But that's not the most exciting part. That's like who cares about that?
But
Okay.
wait, there's more.
Wait, there's more. So the most exciting part is the fact that you're an owner with rights. You're an owner with rights. Okay, let me liken this to home ownership. All right. Do we have a homeowner? Let's see here. Let me pick on Ken. Are you a homeowner, Ken?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You're not exactly young anymore. You've been around for a little while. Do you have any equity in
Tell
your
me
home?
about it.
You got
Yes,
any,
sir.
you have some equity in your home, okay? All right. Now, if you want to do something with the equity in your home, you have every right to do that, don't you?
Yes.
Every right. Okay. So, for example, if you and I got together in a meeting and you said, Ace, give me some money. And I say, why should I give you money, Ken? And you say, well, I tell you what, I'm not expecting you just to give it to me like a gift, okay? But I tell you what I'm going to do. I got a house. It's got equity in it. Why don't we make an agreement and I give you the equity in my home? Maybe we'll just make it a loan. Let's just call it a loan. Okay, so you're not giving me money. You're gonna lend me money. Okay, Ken says, and so I'll pay it off. I'll pay it back with interest later. But you'll have a piece of my home. You'll have equity. I'm going to sell you some of my equity. And what I want, maybe Ken's, I need $25,000, Ace. So give me the 25,000 now. I got a purpose for it. And I'll give you at least $25,000 of equity in the home. And with some assurances, it'll all be contractual and all that, blah, blah, blah. And it's all legit. It's legal. It's I'm not a bank. Okay. Does Ken have the right to not go to the bank, but come to me? Does he have the right to do that?
Yes. Sure.
It's called a private equity transaction. Okay? You can do it with your home. You can do it with anything that you own. You can do it with a car. You got stock in your hand. It's in your bank. It's in your. I'm sorry. It's in your. What am I thinking? Your safe. You have like a safe. You've got you got all your documents in your safe. You open up your safe and you pull out your documents, and there's some stock certificates in there. You could take those stock certificates, and you have equity in that company, right? Right.
Yes.
And you could go privately to any person on the planet and say, "Here you go. Here's stock. Give me money." You understand? Equity. And it's private. Now, what you can't do, and this is true for everything, is you can't go on Facebook and advertise to the world, "Hey, I'm selling equity in my house, everybody. Hit me up. I'll make a good deal for you. Hey, I got these stock certificates in my safe. Hit me up. I'll make a good deal for you. You can get some of these stock certificates I have. I have stock certificates of this company and that company and that company. Hit me up." And then you're advertising all over the place that that you're selling equity. That's illegal, right? Does everybody know that?
No.
You can't do that. No, you go to jail for that. You get my point here? You have
Yeah.
every right, but you don't have the right to advertise. That's the one right you don't have. In other words, you can't draw the public in, but you can negotiate one individual with another individual, and two individuals can come together and do a deal that's real, not fraud, real equity, or real money, or a real car, or a real business, or a real house, or a real piece of land, or some real gold. You can trade equity for anything. You get it? Okay. Now, if the smallest one of us has got $20 million of equity with every right to be able to sell it, of course, we're going to self-regulate this. We're not going to just let it go crazy. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to let one person blow it for everybody else, right? We're going to have containers on this. But I'm just saying that it's, given that there's going to be some self-regulation going on, you have the smallest one of us is going to have $20 million that they could then trade privately with anybody that they want anywhere in the world. No problem. It's private. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
Yep,
Yes.
makes sense.
Okay. And none of this is done in the public. Now, this video is going to go on YouTube, so the explanation of how all this work is going in the public. But the actual activity itself will not be something you do in the public. You understand what I'm saying, guys? And this is
Yep.
very important
Yes.
that all owners understand where the line is. That's where the line is. On this side of the line, you're fine. On that side of the line, you go to jail. Okay? Understand where the line is. Okay? Yes. You can go, you could go to someone that's selling a car. Like you go to Craigslist and say, "Okay, this guy is selling a car. I want that car." They want $50,000 for the car. You know what I'm saying? You could say, "Well, I've got at least $50,000 of equity here, so I'll go to him and say, 'Here's my equity,' and you can have the equity for the car and negotiate the deal and make it a win-win, and everybody's happy. And the guy gives you the car. You got a $50,000 car. There's nothing stopping you from turning around the next day and selling the car for $40,000 and getting $40,000 cash. It's a $50,000 car. You sell it for $40,000 the next day. Nothing's stopping you from doing that. And there's nothing illegal about it. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
But if you go and try to advertise that's what you're doing, now you're doing something illegal. Get it? That's got to be very clear. Okay. And we're gonna be, every single law, all the stuff, we're gonna bring all it to the light, and we're gonna, we want to make sure that we're not tripping any legal wires here. But when it comes to equity and whatever, equity is equity. It can be moved around privately, no problem. But it has to be private. Okay. That's how it's done. I mean, imagine if you had $15 billion of equity here. I mean, you could go to the king of a small country and start negotiating at that level. Hey, can I buy this palace over here? I notice you're not using it anymore. You know, I got this equity. It's a much better deal than that old palace you got over there. You know, you're not using anymore. Whatever. You could, you just have more to work with, right? So, and then it comes down to, the power to negotiate. How many of you would be interested in taking a course or a class or, a training on how to be a better negotiator? How many would be interested in that?
I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Especially if you got all this equity, that's going to be a valuable skill that you're going
I
to want
would
to
too.
develop, right? Yeah. There's an idea for our marketplace. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So I hope this has been very exciting. I hope you're excited about having equity with every right to be able to, with some, granted, there's going to be some self-regulation. There's going to be a few hundred of us that are going to come together. We're going to make agreements together, and then we're going to follow those agreements on how we're going to handle the sale of private equity. Is that fair?
That's very fair. Yep.
Yes.
Okay, and that's exactly how it's going to go. Are we going to be able to do private equity sales on April 8th? No, not really. No. And the reason for that is there's no value there yet. I mean, the marketplace is just getting started. And really, what's the value of something that just starts? You know what I'm saying? So it's not that valuable. And so on paper, the value there is way much higher than what it is in reality when you look at the real value of something. Now, marketplace has been around for 6 months, and it's growing by leaps and bounds. Like, let's say we're having 100% growth month after month. Okay, 100% growth, 100% growth, 100% growth, right? In the volume of what we're doing in this marketplace, that would be considered valuable. Okay. Now we got value. Now we can open it up and say, okay, those of us that are owners, let's open it up to, whatever. We'll come up with, something. Okay. Like it could be like, one coin each, or it could be like a percent based. It's whatever it's as co-owners, we're gonna figure it out together. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
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 Which brings me to this point here. Something that you need to be aware of. Our programmer is too damn busy for him to do every little thing I want him to do. But this is no longer something that you want to, think that that's how it's going to work. It's not going to work like that. It says here, one whole new coin will be sent to each member on day one. And the assumption is their wallet. No. That's not going to happen. Okay. Nobody's going to get a whole coin sent to their wallet on day one, guys. So I want to make that clear. I just haven't had a chance to kind of remove that from there because we've seen it before with the pool funding coins. We've seen it with PML. We've seen it over and over again that the temptation gets too great for some people. And if it's sitting in their wallet and they have 100% of the power to go to the market and sell it for dirt cheap, and drag all the price of all the other coins down with it. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth taking that risk. Would you guys agree?
Absolutely.
So we don't want there to be 150 or 200 or 250 coins sitting in people's wallets that any one person could then decide, I'm just going to sell this. Oh, I'm mad at Ace, so I'm going to sell my coin. Right? You know how people are, they don't like whatever, I embarrassed them. So now they're going to, they're going to sell the coin because they want to give me a black eye, It happens. Okay. So that's why we can't do that. We can't afford to take that risk. And I hope all of you agree that's not a risk we want to take. Are we in agreement?
Agreed.
Agreed.
It's best that all of the coins that are allocated, they sit behind, a privacy wall. I used to call it a firewall, but I like the privacy wall better. It sits behind a privacy wall on the website that only you can get in and look at it because you're a co-owner. If you're not a co-owner, you can't see that area of the website. You understand? It's private.
Yes.
It's for only, it's just for the owners. Okay. And you can only see your part, right? So, there you go. And then you'll know that, that's what you have. And then you're going to want to see the price of the coin as high as possible because you have coin. You have plenty of coin, lots of coin. Okay. And so that's it. As the marketplace becomes successful, okay, and all of us do our best to contribute to the success of the marketplace, My Joy Marketplace, then the ability to do private sales opens up. So think of it like this. You got a window of time, maybe 6 months to a year, to become the best doggone negotiator that you possibly can. Get the marbles out of your mouth, and or get to the point where you can hire someone to represent you and they can be your agent for you, right? That you can command and control, and they'll do the negotiations for you. Now you're thinking like a business person when you start thinking like that. Okay. Because you don't have to be the negotiator. You can hire a negotiator. Get my point? You just want to know that they're good, So you might want to learn how to negotiate yourself. So you can be able to know if someone's good or not. But there you go. For example, like I gave the example of the car. Okay. $50,000 car. You provide the equity. They love the equity. They give you the car. You give them the equity. It's that now they're like a second layer co-owner, right? Your first generation owner, co-owner. That person might be like a second generation. They take a little piece of your pie. Each of you have your own little pie. Your slice turns into a pie, right? Your individual slice becomes its own pie, and then a little piece of it can go out, right? And then that's, so maybe that $50,000, that's how you do the deal. So you got a $50,000 car, and then you hire someone and they sell the car for you. Okay, the next day. You get the car on Wednesday, and then you sell the car on Thursday for $40,000, right? And even if you decide to be very, very generous. Sorry, my Telegram is going beep, beep, beep. I'm going to quit Telegram. All right. So even if you're very generous and say, okay, you do this for me, I'll give you half. So you collect $40,000 cash for the car that you just sold, and you get 20,000, I get 20,000. And then I didn't do anything except for provide the equity. I'm the equity provider, right? But I have someone working for me who's finding cars, selling cars, finding cars, selling cars, does all the work, right? And does all the negotiations, right? See? Think like an owner. Think like an owner. Okay? Well, if you could do that with one guy, well, imagine that. What if you had 10 guys like that working for you, and they each did like 2 deals a month, right? So you get $40,000 times 10. That's $400,000 a month selling cars, using the equity, doing it privately. You get it? Okay. So if you're hesitating opting in for $100 to miss out on everything I'm telling you right now, you need to go to the hospital immediately because there's definitely something wrong with you. Okay? You're not well. Okay. You might be about to die or something because there's something wrong with you for sure, 100%. Go see a doctor immediately. Okay. If you hear all this and if it doesn't add up to you still, maybe you're first language isn't English. That might be it. I don't know. That could be the reason, you know? All right. I get it. I'm doing all this in English, you know? Ruth Brown, go ahead. You
Right.
get your hand up.
So would you be able to borrow from yourself? Can you, or you need another person?
I think whatever the law says you can do, you can do. How about that overall? If the law says you can do it, you can do it.
So how will we know what the law says?
That's why you need probably an attorney. So, in other words, don't ask me legal questions.
Okay,
All
I
right.
was just wondering.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I've done a deep dive on private equity. And yeah, no problem. You know, I mean, a little pie turns into it turns into its own little genealogy chart, you know, that this person sold this equity to that person sold it to that person, and the equity can be divided up almost like a little genealogy chart. No problems. It's all done privately. You advertise it, you got a problem. Okay. But
I see.
I've done my deep dive there enough to say that with confidence. But that question you're asking me there, you need to ask an attorney, my dear. I don't know.
Mhm. Oh, I see.
All right.
All right. I also got in touch with you because I wanted to become a diamond. Did you get my message?
What happened? Huh?
I wanted to be in the diamond pool.
You want to be a diamond, huh? Okay.
Yes.
Well, we'll make you a
Yes.
diamond, no problem.
So
Have
I'm going.
have you already opted in?
Yes.
You've opted in already then.
Yes.
So that means you only need to do 400 because you already paid the 100. So it's just
Oh, I
$400.
see.
Okay?
So I need $400
All right.
USDT.
USDT. Yep.
Okay.
Right.
All
Have
right.
that ready. I'll meet
So-
with you and you'll send me the USDT and then I'll go in and get you the $1,500 of PML. I'll send that to your holding
Okay.
area. Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
sorry, I've just been so
Okay.
busy, and like right after this, I'm gonna have to download this thing, and usually it could take about an hour because I'm using this hotspot. It takes longer. It's not like fiber, you know, really instant
Oh,
fast.
okay. So
About an
I'm
hour
going
or
to
so
do.
after the meeting, we could
I'm
maybe
going to do that. I'm going to do that tomorrow.
tomorrow's fine too.
then-
I have plenty of time tomorrow, no problem. All day, most of the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, not during the day because I work during the day. I'm in the US.
Yeah,
so
we
it
could
will
do
be
it in your evening. What part of the country are you in?
I'm in Rockland County, New York.
Right. So you're 3 hours ahead of me. So that means that when it's my afternoon, it's your beginning of your evening, you know, and that's probably the best time. Something like
I
that.
see.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So when you
Then
get home from work, you reach out to me.
Yes.
I'll still probably be in my afternoon and we can make it happen. Usually it
Okay.
takes about 15 minutes and we'll get you a pretty picture and a poster and all that done for you. You're gonna
All
love
right.
it.
So I just need $400 of USDT.
That's
to
all
send
you
that to
needed
you.
since you've already opted in. See how that works?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I did. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Now,
Sounds
yeah.
good.
Yeah, if you come in like that, you're not going to only get $20 million. You're getting much more. Okay. The diamond's like a medium-sized slice of the pie. Okay. So yeah, you'll be able to
Oh, I
enjoy that.
see.
It's not going to be a small piece. It's going to be a medium-sized piece.
All right.
Feel good about
Okay.
that. There's 10 more. There's 10 more diamond spots open, people. So she's taking one of them.
All right.
There you go.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right. And so everything I said in the previous call still applies to those of you that are making, you know, that are actually buying and pushing the price of PML up. Your reward is going to be great. Just reach out to me directly and follow the instructions from the previous training. Watch that if you don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, go to the previous training and watch, and then I'll give you a generous reward for your contribution there. Go ahead, Hunter. You got your hand up.
Yeah, I just want to mention to anyone who has listened to those instructions or is going to go back and watch those, if you have difficulty tabulating the amount of PML that you purchased, I have a service available to where I can do that for you and create a spreadsheet. I've helped several folks already. I'd be happy to help you as well.
Appreciate
it's
that.
a paid service, but just 10 USDT.
There you go. That ties right into what I was just saying. So And I mentioned that in that training that if you need help with that, go to Hunter, and he's definitely made a little service out of it. So, and I've seen his
Yeah, well
work,
worth it.
and it's
Yeah, it's great.
impeccable work, Hunter. It's
Thank you.
mwah,
Mhm.
brilliant.
All
Okay,
It's
so
great the way that you set it up there for us, Hunter. It's unreal. Thank you.
So let me just end on the final thing I want to do is I want everybody to thank Justine. Justine has moved on. She is not a one of our junior executive assistants. Okay, so but I think we can end tonight's call. How many of you been helped out by Justine? Anybody been helped by Justine before?
I have.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, I have too.
Okay, so she's no longer on the team, but we can give her a thank you, can't we? So how about everybody unmute and say thank you, Justine.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
Justine.
Thank you, Justine.
Awesome.
Justin.
Justine.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night, Ace.